no. I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife was there.
That's our government. That is our government. Let's just listen to it one more time. One more time, because this is about as peaceful as the whole cast is going to be.
Do you feel, however, that we're making progress in this? No. I will never say that progress is being made. If you stick a knife in my back 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's the blow made. And they haven't even begun to pull a knife out, much less try and heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife was there.
See, where we are with this government right now, with all of these executive orders and protection orders, and we've got to do this and do that. They've just ignored. I'm talking about 100% ignored Black Americans. And I get it, but I just don't see how they're going to try to move forward. I mean, they're literally saying we're not going to do anything for you. We're not going to put any protection orders in place for you. But let something happen to anybody else, whether it be Asians, Latinos, migrants, as they want to call them. I call them absconders. I call them refugees. I call them illegals. I call them people that are not supposed to be here in this country without paperwork. Let them keep doing for those people. They're going to keep doing for those people, and they're going to continue to force Black Americans to do what they need to do to get by in this country. And I'm not perpetuating anything. They just need to see when Black people struggle, when Black people starve, they do desperate things. And I don't believe they understand that they don't have the proper people in place, that if Black people get desperate on a collective level, shit is going to hit the fan. They believe they've got an army out here, okay. They believe they've got protection out here, okay. But you gonna have them fighting other citizens? I mean, your National Guard drops down and does whatever they do when you tell them to, but that's nothing, because they're mostly fighting white people. When the National Guard gets called into any of these places, get a backdrop going, any of these places, when a National Guard comes in and they say they're gonna do something, it's really just to protect the buildings and whatever around. It's not to stop people from doing other shit. They're just trying to protect what they've been brought in to protect. They're not protecting individuals. What happens when people start going through people's houses and just running their hands through people's pockets physically? The National Guard gonna stop that? Because that's what happens. That's what happens when shit gets desperate out here. I'm not sure exactly what that was at. You're speaking your side and you're doing. I'm not sure exactly. It's too long for me to be reading and driving, so I have to catch that when I stop. But the National Guard is only going to protect what they're sending to protect. They're not going to protect other citizens. And they're trying to pit people against each other. Now, I'm smart enough to know that an Asian can't do shit to me. A Latino can't do shit to me. But systemically push me to the bottom. But I've already said before, there ain't a Latino out here that can do what the fuck I do. There ain't an Asian out here that can do what the fuck I do. So I can't be replaced by either one of them. So I'm not scared of either one of them. Who should really be scared of Asians and who should really be scared of Latinos are non-skilled individuals. And we got more non-skilled white people out here than we got non-skilled black people. Real shit. Think about it. Think about the numbers. Think about the numbers of people in this country and people that lost out during the pandemic. Way more white people lost out than black people did. Because black people are already at the bottom. Black people are in those first responder jobs, those direct care jobs, and whatever jobs. Frontline workers, maybe not first responder, frontline workers. You got more black people in those jobs than you got white people. And you're not going to bring in Latinos and Asians that are going to be able to grasp those jobs that quickly. So a lot of black people aren't going to get unseated from working because y'all need workers. The way they're trying to move them in, though, and expedite citizenship and all that other shit, that's different. Yeah, I understand the killings, I understand the abuse, whatever. But the shit that's happened to Asian Americans in the last year, you trying to tell me that supersedes what's happened to black Americans over the last 400? And we don't have one executive order that protects black Americans. But Asian Americans got one. They got one after a year of so-called abuse and terror. How much can we get for 400? How much can we get for 400 years of abuse and terror? I'm not really understanding it. You got people that walk in here from another territory that they left voluntarily. Nobody told nobody to come here. They left voluntarily, seeking refuge, seeking asylum, seeking sanctity. They're not seeking to live the American dream. They're trying to get the fuck out of Dodge wherever they come from. That's what they're trying to do. Nobody's coming here to live the American dream. They come in here to get the bag, and they come in here to flee a country that they can no longer stand in. I'm not asking you to know what happened 400 years ago, and I know you wasn't around 400 years ago. I'm not even sure who I'm speaking to. But whatever happened 400 years ago is happened just on a different level now. That was analog. This is digital. It's happening. It's going to be interesting to see what the comments are because I have no idea what those comments are because I've been driving and whatever. But staying on my square as I work my way to my Bucks. Got detoured, and I don't particularly like the North Side Starbucks. Not that they do anything wrong, but they don't infuse my coffee the right way. Now that I've found that my coffee has to be infused with the mocha and not just stirred. It's got to be totally, that's why the chocolate goes to the bottom when they don't infuse it. Not infused with anything else other than coffee, but yeah, that's why. So I'm going to my Bucks because I need a good cup of coffee this morning because I'm on some shit. It's Friday Morning Madness. And if I'm going to have Friday Morning Madness, I at least got to have my cup. Got to have my cup. Right now I drink my pink Kool-Aid and keep it moving. So, the executive orders is a problem because of what it's showing to people. It's letting people know they've drawn a line. And I told you, we draw our line now. We circle our wagons now. We drop our dead weight now. Politically, you better start thinking about something other than the Democratic Party if you're a black American. Politically. That's dropping that dead weight. Circling our wagons, we are for our people. We're not shunning anybody. We're not trying to segregate, but we got to be for our people. If they with us, they with us. As fucked up as they may be, they with us. Now, if they black and they not with us, then we leave them alone. But if they with us, they with us. And if they fucked up, then we get them right. But if they gonna show that they not with us, then fuck them. We leave them alone. We let them go. We're not begging nobody no more to be with us. We're not doing that anymore. We need to stop that shit. This whole Black Lives Matter thing came because a few people got together and said it'd be a good idea to go out and protest. And what did black people do? They pulled back. Now the Black Lives Matter protest is 75% white, 25% everybody else. 75% white, 25% everybody else. That's Black Lives Matter protests. Now, when you got other protests, peaceful protests, whatever, you may have factions of protests where they're mostly black people. And they all know each other. And they're all going to jump out of their cars and they're going to march and they're going to go in a circle and they're going to go right back to their cars. They all know each other. Where you're protesting and where you're moving is motherfuckers parking their cars, jumping out their cars, jumping in your line, and they marching with you to wherever you marching. But if y'all ain't really marching nowhere, ain't nobody gonna jump off their shit and be like, where y'all going? Or ain't nobody gonna lead y'all parade with their car and say, where y'all going? I'll lead y'all down the street. I'll make sure y'all tight. If y'all got some choreographed shit going on, that ain't no protest. That's a parade. Y'all just need floats and shit, some balloons, some streamers. That's a parade. That ain't no fucking protest. If you get a permit for it and they tell you when to come, when to go, where you can go and where you can't, that's not a protest. That's a parade. That's an event. That's a pop-up. Stop that shit. Y'all putting on these facades just like all these other motherfuckers out here putting on these facades. From your president on down. Talked about your president. Your president said, this has been the knee on the neck of Black America. I mean, you talking about tone deaf. You talking about callous. You talking about flat out wrong. He made our systemic oppression synonymous with George Floyd's death. The knee on the neck of Black America. Why don't you drink coffee? I'm not sure why you don't drink coffee. So, for him to say that, and nobody said anything, but me, I said something. But 50 motherfuckers see my videos. But nobody from mainstream media said anything. Nobody from mainstream black media said anything. Because everybody's looking for a place. Don't nobody want to upset the Biden administration. Don't nobody want to upset Kamala Imhoff. So they want to be close. They want to be in those pictures. I don't give a fuck about Joe, and I don't give a fuck about Kamala. Why? Because they don't give a fuck about black Americans. I'll start caring about them when they start caring about black people the same way they care about everybody else. See, I ain't got a problem with nobody else. I understand everybody else coming here to get the bag. I get it. You're coming to get the bag. Get the bag. And the government knows they're coming here to get the bag. They ain't got no allegiance to this country. I put anything I got, anything I have, anything I own on it. Give me 10 immigrants right now. That's what y'all call them, right? Immigrants. I call them absconders. Give me 10 of them. And I guarantee you 70% couldn't say the Pledge of Allegiance. If they ready to become citizens of the United States of America, then that means they should have allegiance here. They living here, they earning here, their kids going to school here, but I bet you they can't say the Pledge of Allegiance. And if a motherfucker don't have an allegiance to this country, then a motherfucker shouldn't have citizenship to this country. You gotta go. And I say it for motherfuckers who show traitor behavior, even if they are American citizens. Oh, you gotta go. Motherfuckers ain't never been in this Starbucks line. They don't realize how long the line be, but it go quick. So I like when they drop out. It ain't my job to school you on the Starbucks fare. But yeah, that executive order shit, boy, I tell you, people just don't understand the politics within those politics. And see, they're talking about HR 40 right now. See, that's why they're really not saying anything about Black Americans, because they're talking about HR 40. They're not going to give us too much conversation. That's our conversation right now, HR 40. HR 40, the study of slave reparations, just the study of it. There's no order for it. There's no bill for it. Nothing. There's obviously no revenue coming from it. But that's the way they're talking about Black Americans right now. They're only going to talk about so much shit. But then they want to jump on every time we get killed. That becomes a platform. Now we've got the George Floyd policing bill, crime bill. Who gives a fuck? George Floyd does not want his name in lights right now. I don't think George Floyd is looking for the pub right now. I don't think he's looking down from heaven saying, oh, that's kind of dope. That's kind of dope. A George Floyd policing bill. Yeah, I like that. I like the sound of that. You're full of shit. Sister Cosetta, good morning to you. I'm glad you subscribed to the Half Space. That's why I can see your name, see your affiliation. I'm not sure who that Facebook user is that's kept up the conversation, but I appreciate you too. And the other few people that have checked in on the Half Space this morning, good morning to you. I'm going to try to keep it calculated. I talked about the executive orders. Let's see what else I was supposed to talk about here. I was supposed to talk about some other stuff. Hold on a second. There's some other stuff I'm supposed to talk about. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Herschel Walker. And it's really not Herschel Walker. It's Herschel Walker Jr. Okay? It's Herschel Walker Jr. And we already know his mush-mouth ass daddy, he done got up under my collar a couple times. I can't stand a motherfucker who can't talk, who want to talk. I don't mind that you want to talk. I love talking. I love talkers. I love people who like to talk. But if you gonna talk and you can't talk, I don't need you in my space. You don't talk against. I'm gonna let you listen to Little Herschel. Because look, I can't even speak. See, there's certain people that I can't go back. Like I can speak some words. I can give you some quotes, but I can't really give you Lil Herschel. And then I'll talk about his daddy, because his daddy being propped up right now by Donald Trump, which is some crazy shit. It's some crazy shit. They propping this mushmouth motherfucker up to run for senator in Georgia. But yeah, let's listen first to Lil Herschel. Lil Herschel needs to, yeah, he need, hold on a sec. Where Lil Herschel at? Here we go. Here we go. We're going to get Lil Herschel here. Hold on a second. Ooh, he's a bitch made punk.
BLM and the left are nothing more than a cult celebrating in the streets right now over career criminal George Floyd. Derek Chauvin is a political prisoner. How are we supposed to have a fair trial when gang BLM, that's what they are, they're a gang. Gang members BLM are out in the streets intimidating the jury. Sleepy Jim Crow Joe Biden is pressuring the jury to convict. The media is turning it up. Maxine Waters is inciting violence. How is that a fair trial? That's not a fair trial. This is a political weapon that the left used, and they used Derek Chauvin as a sacrificial lamb. This is disgusting, and it concerns me for the future of our country. This is about the future of our country. This is about mob rule. Now the mob decides who's guilty and who's not. Ghetto BLM mobs are going to decide you and I's fate moving forward in our justice system. It's disgusting, and it has to be stopped immediately. No ghetto mobs. No mobs, bring back law and order, bring back the American justice system. BLM and the left are nothing more than a cult celebrating
No,
the
we're
streets
not
right
going to
now.
do that. We're not going to do that twice. We're not going to do that twice. We're not going to do that twice. I mean, Lil Herschel, He is articulate. He's read a few books in his day. Well, he's been online. He's Googled some shit. He's definitely opened up his mouth and swallowed CNN, MSNBC, Fox. Got him a little Politico in there. He done swallowed them all. He done swallowed a lot in his life, in his young days. He ain't swallowed much truth, though. Knowing who his daddy is, I know he ain't swallowed a whole bunch of truth. I'm looking something up here. But yeah, this is what we're up against right now. Herschel Walker, his daddy, got on the HR 40 hearing and acted a whole ass. Okay? He acted a whole ass. Now you got his son. He's making his social media campaign. And he's going against Democrats, liberals, whatever. The left. And where he has put himself, he's LGBT, T, Q, Q, IAP. Yeah, he's there. Hold on a second. I'm just trying to make sure it's something. Because, yeah, I'll figure it out in a minute. Excuse me. So, this is funny to me. That's what I thought. So we'll talk about it in a second. So yeah, Herschel Walker's son, he is playing to his gayness. He's playing to his conservative daddy and the conservative energy he wants to bring. And it's all crazy to me because where he's at, he's against the liberals, but he's fighting for liberal causes with the whole LGBTQ thing. But then his daddy never talks him up about being LGBTQ. His daddy never talks that up because his buddy talked it down. Donald Trump talked it down. But your buddy's son is gay. How come you don't talk about your buddy's son? But you talked about gays, Trump. But Herschel don't never up his son. Like he don't up his son like Magic ups his son. And if anybody knows me, you know I don't give a fuck who you are horizontal with. I need to know who you're vertical with. Because if you're going upward, I need to know who you're going with. Who you lay with means matters none to me. Matters none to me. Because it's not going to do anything for me. It's not going to do anything for the collective. What you do in your personal life does nothing for me in the collective. What you do out here in these streets, that matters for the collective. So I had to look something up because I had heard about it. And then I was like, okay, now you got Trump pushing Herschel to run for senator in Georgia. Herschel's from Wrightsville. He's from Wrightsville, went to Georgia. So everybody knows Herschel as a Georgian. But do you know Herschel Walker doesn't live in Georgia anymore? He lives in Texas and has lived in Texas for years. Herschel don't fuck with Georgia like that. Herschel don't know Georgia like that no more. Herschel really ain't fuck with Georgia like that since he got money. Now y'all want him to come back and be a senator in Georgia. I mean, Every black home took Herschel Walker into their home when he was at the University of Georgia. Every black home in Georgia, unless you was a Georgia Tech fan. So it was Georgia and Georgia Tech. Unless you was a Georgia Tech fan, everybody loved Herschel Walker. Can't say the same now. I don't think everybody black loves Herschel Walker anymore in Georgia. But they want him to run, and he's being up by Trump, who right now has no political power. He's got influence, but he has no political power. But look who he has influence with. You got motherfuckers trying to distance themselves from him right now because this sexual harassment shit and all that stuff, it's getting closer and closer to his camp. So you got people that want to distance themselves from him. They just publicized, I don't know why it was anybody's business, but they just publicized that they was destroying, bringing it down, Jeffrey Epstein's mansion, leveling his mansion. Why didn't you just sell it? You couldn't get a buyer for it? Why are you taking it? Why are you destroying that mansion? So this is what America likes to do. They're trying to erase the memory of the debauchery that happened in that mansion. And who possibly were in that mansion? I think Trump was in that mansion. I think the Clintons were in that mansion. I think plenty of political figures were in that mansion, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. So when you have a scenario like this, you got politics, you got a bunch of mayhem, all going at one time. You got to stay into all this shit. Where black people like to do, they like to dip in and dip out, dip in and dip out. Where we dip in is on the tragic shit. Somebody get killed, we dip in. We're all about the news. We're all about this. But then we don't listen and look at none of the other political shit that goes on. So we get lost. We get lost in all the drama. We get lost in all the trauma. They like that. Fear sells. Murder sells. Black murder sells. And who they sell it mostly to is us. They sell our own detriment right back to us. We sit there and watch that shit. We sit there and watch it. They feed it to us. Who told us that Derek Chauvin was on George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? Who told us that? Did the girl who recorded the video tell you that? No. She didn't give no narration. She didn't have no timestamp. We were told that by the mainstream media. For almost a year, everybody said 8 minutes and 46 seconds. But what it really was 9 minutes and 29 seconds. We were misled for a year about the death of George Floyd and how long it took him to kill him. And then they switched everybody's minds up right at the beginning of the trial. It wasn't 8:46, it was 9:29. Now nobody knows how to feel about that. You don't know how to feel about that because you've been tricked. What they say? Bamboozled. Run amok, led astray. Yeah. Y'all been. It didn't matter to me how many minutes Derek Chauvin got on his neck. I had never watched the whole video. It didn't matter to me. I just looked at the site like, oh shit. His knee is on his neck. Looks like fluids are secreting from his body. Oh, okay. That's all I needed to see. All I needed to see. I didn't need to sit there and watch it for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. We look away at the shit that we're supposed to be paying attention to. These executive orders, these are defining your near futures. They're defining your near future. You have no protection by this government. There is absolutely no protection by this government. But Asians have protection, Latinos have protection, illegal absconders from other country have protection. But you have no protection, but you're not fighting for that. You need major repair, but you're not fighting for that. Okay. Next topic. Where else am I at? Oh, the Taylor Police Department, right here, Taylor, Michigan. I don't know if I got anybody that lives in Taylor, but if you live in Taylor, Michigan, y'all got some racists on your police department. Taylor, Michigan got some racists on their police department. Put up some inflammatory shit as soon as Derek Chauvin was found guilty. Inflammatory. And you know the crazy thing about it? This is the crazy thing about it. Hold on a sec. Let me try to get to this thing. Uh-oh. Window move. Excuse me. How are you today? I am well. Just my normal. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you. Nope, that's it today. Thank you. That kind of shit. Start your day off right. Start your day off. Start your day off right. So, the Taylor police have people on their police, much like other police departments do as well. A lot of people have people that they deputize, auxiliary police. He is what they call an auxiliary police officer, a job that they could fire him from, although I don't know if he collected a salary from them or not, but they can fire you from the job. They do. They actually know my name here. It's crazy. And I've only told probably 2 people my name, but they know my name. And that's funny that she said that because I didn't know she knew my name. But auxiliary police officers are usually part-time reserves or regular police force. So either or, they could be either or. They may be armed or unarmed. They may be unpaid or paid. It's either or. The police powers auxiliary units may exercise from varying agency to agency. Some have no or limited authority, while others may be accorded full police powers. So you can have some police departments who have officers on their department that are like this. And they not know because they didn't go to the academy. These are just volunteer people, and then they turned them into something more. And I don't know why I did that. I can do this. Hold on one second. Hey there.
Hi, Shannon. How are you?
I am well. I need some help here.
Okay.
I need 8 back.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll do this for you.
Awesome. Thanks. How you guys been?
Today's been pretty good.
Good.
I don't know why, but we've been less busy today. So
Really?
And we're fully stocked. So we're having a good day.
Well, that's a good thing. It's better to have more.
Yes.
You guys have a great day. Thank you. So, to have people on your force like this, I mean, they're on your force. They're supposed to protect and serve. They're supposed to do whatever job you put forth for them to do. Maybe they're not supposed to protect and serve like the other, but I believe if they're auxiliary police, they're still looked at as law enforcement. If you see them with a badge and a gun, some don't have guns, whatever, you still look at them as an authority. They've got that badge. That badge does something. That badge does do something. And for that badge to do what it does, you're backing them up. You're giving them the authority to be who you want them to be. Now, they go out and do other shit and they're not who you want them to be, that still lies on you because you were supposed to have vetted them. You were supposed to have made them real because they're encountering with the public. So they put this shit out on Facebook, crazy ass comments about Derek Chauvin being found guilty. It's in Taylor, Michigan. And it's from a police department. It's not from just some asshole off the street. Well, it is just from an asshole off the street, but he's a deputized asshole. He is a sworn-in asshole off the street. If he encounters the public and say, Taylor's got a pretty fair amount of black people that live in it, they have other people of color that live in it, how does he interact with those people? If he feels this way, I mean, everybody on this planet that has seen this video or any amount of this video sees that Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. If you think any other way, I'm not sure exactly how you think that way. This is true. That's the only reason they know my name. I am gratuitous. If I was not gratuitous, they wouldn't give a fuck who I was. They would throw my coffee to me. Absolutely. But I'm also pleasant. That's got to count for something, right? Being pleasant counts for something, right? So he puts all these comments up and shit. I mean, I'm thinking like, how does he not think anybody's going to see this? And the jobs he holds, how does he think this is not going to be affected? See, this is the ignorance. This is the idiotic behavior of white supremacists, of bigots. This is what you have to really look out for more so than the Proud Boys just showing up. Just the Oath Keepers just showing up. You know, any of them animals that showed up at the Capitol on the 6th of January. This is what you have to be more concerned about. You don't have to be concerned about a whole bunch of flannel shirts with John Deere and MAGA hats. You got to be concerned about a motherfucker who has a badge on and possibly a gun and a taser who's just a flat-out fucking racist. Good morning. Ethics Radio. Appreciate you coming to the half space. I know you check me out on YouTube, but I appreciate you over here. You might still be on YouTube because I believe that when I come through YouTube, the YouTube commenters can actually come through. I don't give a fuck where you're coming in from. I appreciate you. Good morning. Good morning, Sue. So, yeah. Working for Taylor, putting up shit like this. I mean, and they had to fire him. They let him go. But y'all didn't know who he was? Y'all didn't know what he was about? He's been out on the parade detail. You know, he's done the strawberry festivals. You know, he goes down to the mall. He hasn't had any encounters with people, and you're like, that's a little off center, bro. He's been able to mask his white supremacist bigoted behavior until now? No, I don't think so. I just don't think nobody was looking for it. And he was too dumb, probably a little bit liquored up, and thought he'd let his comments fly on Facebook. Now he's out of a deputy job. See? That's what happens. Cannabis don't make you do shit like that. Only alcohol. I think cocaine makes you fly off the handle like that too. I don't know. I never did cocaine. But yeah, he flew off the handle and left them comments and said, I'm going to let this fly. I'm going to let this fly. I'm going to let these racist ass comments fly right after Chauvin gets convicted. And I don't think nothing will happen to me. I think my status at the police department is good. I think we're solid. The fuck? I mean, this is who we have to be more concerned about. Everyday motherfuckers. Every day. Crazy shit about Shot, man. You talking about a motherfucker that was so influential in hip hop. I mean, jeez. And he'll never truly get the credit. And it's his own fault. Shock G will never get the credit. And it's his own fault. Him making that goddamn Humpty Hump character took over everything. You might not know Shock G, you might not know Digital Underground, but you know Humpty Hump. What's the haps? Key Will, how you doing? Shock G made this character that became bigger than life. Became bigger than life. Became bigger than himself. Obviously, he meant it to become bigger than himself. That's why they get into these possessions and they do what they do. But most people don't know Shock G. They don't know Shock G, the genius of Shock G. But they know Humpty Hump. And it's all good. But I'm like, damn. If Humpty Hump could have came along after he had really cemented himself in hip-hop, because I truly believe he had them capabilities. When you start talking about super producers, I believe he had them same capabilities as a Dre or a Timberland or people like that. I believe he had that shit. But because he was so dedicated to the art form, he got swept up, man. He got swept up before he really could put that out there. I mean, I think there was just so much shit in him. You know, it wasn't just hip hop. He had R&B, jazz, blues, rock and roll. Shock G had some shit in him, man. He had some shit in him and never came out because Humpty Hump took over. Totally. Grand Rising. I know exactly who that is, Brother Ramon. Grand Rising to you. Got a school motherfuckers out here. A lot of motherfuckers think Suge Knight discovered Tupac. Think Tupac was discovered in Juice. And then he became a rapper. Nah, motherfucker. Shock G discovered Tupac. He put Tupac on major stages well before anybody else did. He put Tupac on. People don't get it. They don't understand. It has to all come from somewhere. And I know Tupac was gifted, and I know he went to the School of Arts, and I know he went to school with Jada Pinkett. I know all that. But then none of them motherfuckers put him on until Shock G put him on. A true revolutionary of hip hop. And they were down. I mean, and it didn't hurt that they were fucking from Oakland. It didn't hurt. All their shit had Panther all in it. Had Black Power all in it. It was down, man. It was crazy. They were hip hops, Sly and the Family Stone and shit. They were. I'm old, man. And if I don't know, I want to know. If I don't have the right information, I want to have the right information. But I was around for this. See, a lot of people looking online and seeing stuff now. We lived it. We saw it. We saw it live. It happened right in front of our face. We saw the manifestation of Humpty Hump before the song. We saw the musical genius of Digital Underground. Rappers in movies? Digital Underground was in a movie with Dan Aykroyd. Well before rappers was really being in movies. And Humpty Hump was the character. Yep. Same song. Ain't that what they sung in the movie? Wasn't that the song they sung in the movie? I can't remember the song that they sung in the movie. Did they make another song for the movie? I can't remember that. Humpty had on that nanny goat looking coat. Appreciate anybody checking in on Facebook. Half Space looking decent today too. Well, they stay beefing on that political site in Ann Arbor. So Al Sharpton. And I don't know exactly how much longer anybody can really stomach him. I'm not sure exactly how much more damage we can allow him to do. If we allow him to stay in these political spaces, he's going to hurt us in the end. Al Sharpton is not for Black America anymore. He's for Green America. I'm not hating on Al. Get your bag, dude. Get your bag. Solidify whoever you got to solidify for the next several generations. I don't know if he got kids, grandkids. I don't know what he's setting up for. You know, he's not going to live forever. But what he's going to do until he gets out of here, he's going to get the bag. He's in the get the bag stage of his life. He's hot right now. Al is hot. And as long as Black people continue to be killed, he'll have a eulogy to do. He'll have a eulogy to do because Ben Crump will sign on and Ben will be like, look, We'll get your memorial. We'll get everything taken care of. We got the eulogy coming. We'll get the cameras. We'll do it all. They got the whole kit. Trump's got a kit. He'll get you some civil rights activists. He'll get you a preacher. He'll get you this. He'll get you that. And he's going to get you that bag. Getting that bag has become so important to Al. And I wouldn't have said this. Had he not did that punk shit with the private jet a couple of days ago. I guess he had Tyler Perry's jet. And, he chartered it to Minnesota. Why we need to see, even if you do get the jet, I don't give a fuck that he's on the jet. I think it's a necessity for a lot of people in high-level positions. They don't have to deal with, all the public bullshit, get right to the plane. But why do we need to see you on the jet, bro? Why do we need to see you on the jet? Walking to the jet. Taking selfies in front of the jet. Why do we need to see that? Just like, why do we need to see Kamala get on and off the plane? Why is that political now? Why is that uplifting for us now? When they're going to and from places doing absolutely nothing for Black America. I don't need to see where you're going to and where you came from if you didn't advocate on my behalf. That's like us taking a picture. Or somebody filming us and we just, slow motion. Because, shit looks sweet in slow motion. It looks sweet. When you walk in and shit, you look kind of fucking dumb. But when they slow you up and get a hand motions and shit, that shit looks sweet. It looks sweet. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a sucker for imaging like that. Like even for like audio shit. That's why I like audio to sound good. My audio don't sound good. I don't like that. So when my audio sounds good, it makes me feel like I'm kind of going through the motions. That slow motion shit. Why do I need to see you doing that? If somebody was filming me walking, oh man, look at him. He looks so cool. He looks so confident. In my slow motion shit. And then when they show what I'm walking to, I might just be walking to the men's room. Where's the relevance at? Why do you need to see me walk into the men's room? Just like, why do I need to see you walk into a plane or jumping off a private plane into a limo? What is the relevance? How is that helping the Black collective? There you go. We want to see actors. We want to see actions. That's true. I thought it said actors, but I'm going to still run with actions. Yeah. We're a very visual people. Black people are very visual